Question 1. Which of the following best describes the role of cyber insurance in business continuity planning? A. Cyber insurance helps businesses recover physical assets destroyed by cyber attacks. B. Cyber insurance provides liability coverage for data breaches and business disruptions but does not support recovery. C. Cyber insurance is primarily used to manage the cost of recovery from cyber incidents, including data restoration, business interruption, and liability claims. D. Cyber insurance solely focuses on compensating businesses for financial losses caused by employee negligence. Answer: C. Cyber insurance is primarily used to manage the cost of recovery from cyber incidents, including data restoration, business interruption, and liability claims. Explanation: Cyber insurance plays a key role in business continuity planning by helping organizations recover from cyber incidents. It covers a wide range of costs associated with the aftermath of cyber incidents, such as data restoration, business interruption losses, liability for breaches, and other related expenses. It is not focused solely on compensating for physical asset destruction or employee negligence, which are generally outside the scope of most cyber insurance policies. This aligns with the principle that cyber insurance is designed to mitigate the financial impact of cyber risks and ensure that businesses can continue operating after an incident. Question 2. Mr. Lawson is a business owner who has purchased a cyber insurance policy that includes ransomware coverage. His company experiences a ransomware attack and a demand for $1 million is made. Which of the following actions should Mr. Lawson take to ensure that his claim is processed correctly? A. Pay the ransom immediately and notify the insurance company after the payment. B. Notify the insurance company, conduct an investigation, and wait for confirmation of coverage before paying the ransom. C. Contact local law enforcement and refrain from reporting the incident to the insurance company. D. Do not report the incident to the insurance company until the ransom demand is fulfilled. Answer: B. Notify the insurance company, conduct an investigation, and wait for confirmation of coverage before paying the ransom. Explanation: in the event of a ransomware attack, the policyholder, Mr. Lawson, should immediately notify the insurance company and follow the claims process. Cyber insurance policies generally require that policyholders notify the insurer as soon as possible and allow for an investigation into the circumstances of the attack. The insurer will assess the situation and confirm whether the ransom demand falls within the scope of the policy, which typically covers financial losses from cyber extortion, ransomware. Paying the ransom before engaging with the insurance company could result in a denial of the claim if the payment was not authorized or if it violates the policy terms. Question 3. Which of the following is a key consideration when underwriting a cyber insurance policy for a business in the healthcare industry? A. The business's ability to protect against physical security breaches is the most critical factor. B. The history of data breaches, security measures in place, and compliance with HIPAA are all essential factors for underwriting. C. The number of employees within the business is the only relevant underwriting factor. D. Underwriting does not consider the business's cybersecurity practices, focusing solely on the size of the company. Answer: B. The history of data breaches, security measures in place, and compliance with HIPAA are all essential factors for underwriting. Explanation: when underwriting a cyber insurance policy for a business in the healthcare industry, several factors are taken into account to assess the risk exposure. These include the company's history of data breaches, the cybersecurity measures and technologies in place to prevent breaches, and the organization's compliance with regulations like the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act (HIPAA). Healthcare businesses handle sensitive patient data, and failure to comply with HIPAA can increase the risk of data breaches, which directly affects the underwriting process. The number of employees or physical security breaches is secondary to ensuring that the business is meeting industry-specific cybersecurity standards. Question 4. Which of the following types of cyber risks involves unauthorized access to a business's network to disrupt its services, typically resulting in downtime or loss of access to critical systems? A. Ransomware. B. Data breach. C. Denial of service, DDoS. D. Social engineering. Answer: C. Denial of service, DDoS. Explanation: a denial of service (DDoS) attack involves overwhelming a network or system with traffic, causing legitimate users to lose access to services or critical systems. This type of attack typically results in system downtime, making it a key concern for businesses that rely on the availability of their networks for daily operations. Ransomware, on the other hand, involves encrypting data for extortion purposes, while data breaches involve unauthorized access to data for theft or exposure. Social engineering refers to attacks aimed at manipulating individuals into divulging confidential information. Question 5. Which of the following is a limitation typically found in cyber insurance policies regarding claims arising from cyber incidents? A. Coverage is provided for all acts of cybercrime regardless of the perpetrator. B. Coverage does not apply to losses resulting from acts of war or terrorism. C. Claims are unlimited as long as the business has an active policy. D. Only financial losses from system failures are covered, excluding legal expenses. Answer: B. Coverage does not apply to losses resulting from acts of war or terrorism. Explanation: most cyber insurance policies contain exclusions for certain types of losses, including those caused by acts of war or terrorism. These exclusions are designed to limit the insurer's exposure to catastrophic events beyond the control of the policyholder, while cyber insurance covers a range of cyber risks like data breaches and cyber extortion. It generally does not cover damages arising from war, terrorism, or government actions, which can result in widespread or catastrophic losses. Question 6. A company has suffered a data breach in which personal customer data was exposed. The company's cyber insurance policy includes coverage for legal liabilities related to data breaches. What is the primary responsibility of the insured company under the terms of the policy? A. To notify affected individuals within a certain period and manage legal risks associated with the breach. B. To avoid notifying the affected individuals until the full investigation is complete. C. To negotiate settlement terms directly with the individuals affected by the breach. D. To immediately delete or expose data to prevent further breaches. Answer: A. To notify affected individuals within a certain period and manage legal risks associated with the breach. Explanation: under most cyber insurance policies, the insured company is required to notify affected individuals in a timely manner in compliance with data breach notification laws, such as the Louisiana Data Breach Notification Law. Additionally, the company must work with its insurance provider to address the legal liabilities, which may include managing litigation, handling regulatory investigations, and providing customer notifications. Policies typically cover the costs associated with these legal obligations, but the responsibility of notifying affected individuals promptly is on the company, as failure to comply with notification requirements could result in fines and penalties. Question 7. Which of the following is an example of an endorsement that may be added to a cyber insurance policy to enhance coverage for a specific business need? A. Coverage for physical damage to property caused by cyber attacks. B. Coverage for business interruption and crisis management related to a ransomware attack. C. Coverage for employee negligence and misconduct related to data theft. D. Coverage for all legal expenses, regardless of the nature of the lawsuit. Answer: B. Coverage for business interruption and crisis management related to a ransomware attack. Explanation: endorsements or add-ons to a cyber insurance policy are typically used to tailor coverage to the specific needs of a business. For instance, a business interruption endorsement can provide coverage for losses incurred due to downtime caused by a ransomware attack, and crisis management coverage may help with the costs of managing public relations and communications during such incidents. While policies may have general coverage for legal expenses, physical property damage is generally outside the scope of cyber insurance, and employee negligence is often covered under separate liability policies. Question 8. Which of the following strategies is most effective for reducing the underwriting risk associated with a company's cyber insurance policy? A. Ignoring employee cybersecurity training to save on costs. B. Implementing strong data encryption protocols and regular system backups. C. Delaying the purchase of cyber insurance until the company has experienced a security breach. D. Avoiding third-party vendor risk assessments to reduce the complexity of cybersecurity measures. Answer: B. Implementing strong data encryption protocols and regular system backups. Explanation: strong data encryption and regular system backups are key components of a robust cybersecurity strategy. These measures reduce the risk of data breaches and business interruptions, which in turn lowers underwriting risk. Underwriters assess the company's overall security posture when determining coverage, and businesses that take proactive steps to secure their systems and data are seen as less risky. Ignoring cybersecurity training, delaying insurance purchases, and neglecting third-party vendor risk assessments increase the likelihood of incidents, raising the underwriting risk. Question 9. What is the primary purpose of using a claims-made policy in cyber insurance? A. To provide coverage only for incidents that occur within the policy period, regardless of when the claim is made. B. To provide coverage for claims made after the policy has expired as long as the incident occurred during the coverage period. C. To cover claims only if they are filed before the policy's inception date. D. To allow the policyholder to choose when to file claims regardless of the event occurrence. Answer A. To provide coverage only for incidents that occur within the policy period, regardless of when the claim is made. Explanation: a claims made policy provides coverage for claims arising from incidents that occur during the policy period, regardless of when the claim is reported. This is different from an occurrence-based policy, which covers claims for incidents that occur during the policy period, regardless of when the claim is made. Claims-made policies require the insured to report claims during the policy period or within a specified period after the policy ends. This type of policy is common in professional liability and cyber insurance because it offers insurers more control over the timing of claims and reduces the risk of late reporting. Question 10. Which of the following federal regulations is most relevant when considering the handling of personal healthcare data in a cyber insurance policy? A. National Institute of Standards and Technology NIST Cybersecurity Framework. B. Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act HIPAA. C. General Data Protection Regulation GDR. D. The California Consumer Privacy Act CIA. Answer: B. Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act HIPAA. Explanation: HIPAA is the primary federal regulation governing the handling of personal healthcare information in the United States. It sets strict guidelines for safeguarding patient data, including requirements for data security, breach notification, and penalties for non-compliance. Cyber insurance policies that cover healthcare organizations must consider HIPAA compliance to ensure that personal healthcare data is protected. The NIST cybersecurity framework is also important for cybersecurity best practices, but it is not specific to healthcare data like HIPAA. GDPR and CCPA are relevant to personal data protection but are more focused on European and California residents, respectively. Question 11. What is a common exclusion in cyber insurance policies related to the intentional actions of the insured? A. Cyber extortion due to employee negligence. B. Losses caused by cyber attacks initiated by the insured or its employees. C. Ransomware attacks resulting from a software vulnerability. D. Data breaches that occur due to third-party vendor negligence. Answer: B. Losses caused by cyber attacks initiated by the insured or its employees. Explanation: cyber insurance policies typically exclude coverage for incidents caused by the intentional actions of the insured or its employees. This includes deliberate cyber attacks or fraudulent activities that are within the control of the policyholder. Coverage is generally provided for incidents resulting from external threats or employee negligence, but not for intentional misconduct or criminal activities. This exclusion is important because it helps insurers avoid providing coverage for premeditated acts that are not within the scope of traditional insurance coverage. Question 12. What is the key difference between a first-party and third-party cyber insurance policy? A. First-party policies cover damage to the insured systems and data, while third-party policies cover damage to external systems or parties. B. First-party policies cover damage caused by cyber attacks, while third-party policies cover the costs of customer data protection. C. First-party policies cover only financial loss, while third-party policies cover both financial and reputational damage. D. There is no difference. The terms are used interchangeably in cyber insurance. Answer A. First-party policies cover damage to the insured systems and data, while third-party policies cover damage to external systems or parties. Explanation: first-party cyber insurance policies cover direct losses incurred by the insured due to a cyber attack or breach, such as data loss, business interruption, or system repair costs. Third-party policies, on the other hand, cover claims made by external parties, such as customers or partners, for damage caused by the insured cyber incident, including legal fees and settlements related to data breaches or privacy violations. Question 13. Which of the following events would likely trigger a cyber insurance claim for data breach coverage? A. An employee leaves a laptop containing customer data in a public location, resulting in unauthorized access to the data. B. A routine system update that causes temporary service disruption. C. A cyber attack that results in a financial loss to the insured company but no data being exposed. D. A natural disaster that damages physical infrastructure but does not affect any data or systems. Answer A. An employee leaves a laptop containing customer data in a public location, resulting in unauthorized access to the data. Explanation: a data breach claim typically arises when sensitive or personal data is exposed, lost, or accessed by unauthorized individuals. In this scenario, leaving a laptop with customer data in a public location can result in unauthorized access, triggering a claim under cyber insurance policy that covers data breaches. The other events, such as system updates, financial losses, or natural disasters, may not qualify unless they involve data exposure or direct cyber incidents. Question 14. What is the main purpose of a retroactive date cyber insurance policy? A. To set a date after which all claims must be reported to be covered. B. To specify the earliest date for which incidents may be covered under a claims-made policy. C. To limit coverage for incidents occurring before the policy's start date. D. To determine the amount of liability coverage the insured can claim in case of a breach. Answer B. To specify the earliest date for which incidents may be covered under a claims-made policy. Explanation: in claims-made cyber insurance policies, the retroactive date determines the earliest point in time when a claim can be made for an incident that occurred before the policy's start date. This is important because it ensures that the policy covers claims arising from incidents that occurred prior to the policy's inception, as long as the event is reported during the policy period. Question 15. Which of the following best describes the purpose of a cyber insurance policy's exclusions section? A. To outline the types of cyber incidents that are specifically covered by the policy. B. To provide a detailed breakdown of how premiums are calculated. C. To define the incidents or scenarios that are not covered by the policy. D. To list the maximum amount the insurer will pay for each claim. Answer C. To define the incidents or scenarios that are not covered by the policy. Explanation: the exclusions section of a cyber insurance policy outlines specific incidents, risks, or circumstances that are not covered under the terms of the policy. This might include exclusions for acts of war, terrorism, or intentional misconduct, which help insurers limit their exposure to certain high-risk events. Question 16. Which of the following is typically covered under a cyber insurance policy's business interruption clause? A. Lost income due to a data breach caused by a cyber attack. B. Physical damage to company assets due to a cyber incident. C. Ransomware payments to hackers in exchange for data access. D. Legal fees for defending against a cybercrime lawsuit. Answer A. Lost income due to a data breach caused by a cyber attack. Explanation: the business interruption clause in a cyber insurance policy typically covers income losses that occur due to a cyber attack or data breach that disrupts business operations. It can also cover expenses related to restoring normal operations. The clause generally does not cover physical damage to assets or legal fees related to lawsuits, although these may be covered under separate provisions in the policy. Question 17. Which of the following is an example of an external factor that could impact a company's cyber insurance policy premium? A. The size of the company's employee base. B. The presence of a comprehensive data backup and disaster recovery plan. C. The company's industry and the perceived level of cyber risk associated with it. D. The geographic location of the company's headquarters. Answer C. The company's industry and the perceived level of cyber risk associated with it. Explanation: the industry in which a company operates plays a significant role in determining its cyber insurance premium, as industries with higher perceived cyber risks, such as healthcare or finance, may face higher premiums. Insurers assess the potential for data breaches and other cyber incidents based on industry-specific risks, while employee size, data backup practices, and location may influence the policy. Industry risk is a key determinant. Question 18. Which of the following is generally not covered under cyber insurance policies? Network security coverage. A. Cyber attacks that disrupt the business's operations. B. Data breaches caused by hacking or malware. C. Losses caused by employee negligence that compromise network security. D. Financial losses due to system crashes that prevent normal business activities. Answer D. Financial losses due to system crashes that prevent normal business activities. Explanation: network security coverage typically focuses on incidents that result from hacking, malware, or other external threats that compromise the security of the company's network or systems. It does not generally cover losses due to technical failures or system crashes that are not caused by cyber incidents. These types of losses may be covered under a different provision, such as business interruption or property insurance. Question 19. Which of the following is an example of a social engineering attack that might be covered under cyber insurance policy? A. A hacker exploiting a system vulnerability to steal data. B. An employee tricked into transferring company funds to a fraudster after receiving a fake email from a senior executive. C. A ransomware attack encrypting company data for ransom. D. A denial of service attack that disrupts access to the company's website. Answer: B. An employee tricked into transferring company funds to a fraudster after receiving a fake email from a senior executive. Explanation: social engineering attacks manipulate individuals into revealing confidential information or performing actions that compromise the organization's security. In this case, a fake email that convinces an employee to transfer funds is an example of social engineering. These attacks often rely on human error rather than technical vulnerabilities, making them difficult to defend against with traditional cybersecurity measures. Question 20. Which of the following is an essential step for companies to take before purchasing a cyber insurance policy? A. Ensure that all systems are insured against any form of cyber attack. B. Conduct a thorough risk assessment to understand potential vulnerabilities and exposures. C. Negotiate the lowest premium possible regardless of coverage limitations. D. Focus only on coverage for data breaches, excluding other types of cyber risks. Answer: B. Conduct a thorough risk assessment to understand potential vulnerabilities and exposures. Explanation: before purchasing cyber insurance, it is essential for companies to conduct a comprehensive risk assessment to identify potential vulnerabilities, threats, and exposures. This assessment helps determine the appropriate coverage needed to mitigate risks effectively. Without understanding the specific risks the company faces, it is difficult to select the right policy or negotiate proper coverage. Question 21. Which of the following is the primary purpose of a notification costs provision in a cyber insurance policy? A. To cover the costs of notifying affected individuals in the event of a data breach. B. To provide funding for creating internal security awareness programs. C. To cover the cost of restoring lost or damaged data. D. To reimburse costs associated with repairing physical hardware damaged in a cyber attack. Answer: A. To cover the costs of notifying affected individuals in the event of a data breach. Explanation: the notification costs provision in a cyber insurance policy is designed to cover the expenses associated with notifying individuals whose data may have been exposed during a data breach. This can include mailing notifications, providing credit monitoring, and other related expenses. This provision helps ensure that the company complies with breach notification laws while managing the financial impact of the breach. Question 22. Which of the following would most likely be excluded from coverage under a standard cyber insurance policy? A. Data breaches caused by a hacker exploiting a vulnerability. B. Loss of business income due to a denial of service attack. C. A breach of customer data caused by an employee's malicious action. D. Losses from a data breach that occurred before the policy's retroactive date. Answer: D. Losses from a data breach that occurred before the policy's retroactive date. Explanation: most cyber insurance policies have a retroactive date, which determines the earliest time frame for coverage to apply. Any data breach that occurred before this retroactive date would generally be excluded from coverage, even if the breach is discovered after the policy starts. Question 23. What does a cyber insurance policy's data breach response coverage typically include? A. Coverage for the costs associated with notifying affected individuals and offering credit monitoring services. B. Legal fees for defending against cybercrime charges. C. Coverage for fines and penalties imposed by regulators. D. Coverage for the ransom paid to hackers in a ransomware attack. Answer: A. Coverage for the costs associated with notifying affected individuals and offering credit monitoring services. Explanation: data breach response coverage is typically included in a cyber insurance policy to help companies manage the costs of complying with breach notification laws, which include notifying affected individuals, providing credit monitoring services, and other breach-related costs. This coverage does not generally include legal defense fees, regulatory fines, or ransom payments, which may be covered under other policy provisions. Question 24. What is the role of a forensic investigation in the context of a cyber insurance policy claim? A. To determine whether the company is legally responsible for the cyber incident. B. To investigate the source of the cyber attack and assess the extent of damage. C. To calculate the exact financial loss caused by the attack. D. To determine the ransom amount to be paid to the attackers. Answer: B. To investigate the source of the cyber attack and assess the extent of damage. Explanation: a forensic investigation helps determine the cause of the cyber attack, the extent of the damage, and whether sensitive data was compromised. It plays a critical role in understanding the scope of the incident and supporting the claims process under cyber insurance policy. The investigation can also assist in developing mitigation strategies to prevent future attacks. Question 25. Which of the following is a key benefit of cyber insurance for businesses? A. Immediate recovery of all lost data after a cyber incident. B. Comprehensive coverage for all internal and external cyber risks. C. Financial protection against the costs associated with cyber incidents, such as legal fees and notification costs. D. Guaranteed prevention of future cyber attacks. Answer: C. Financial protection against the costs associated with cyber incidents, such as legal fees and notification costs. Explanation: cyber insurance helps businesses manage the financial impact of a cyber incident by covering costs like legal fees, notification costs, public relations efforts, and even fines in some cases. However, it does not guarantee the recovery of lost data, prevent future attacks, or provide blanket coverage for all cyber risks. Question 26. What is typically covered by the cyber extortion provision of a cyber insurance policy? A. The costs of investigating the source of a cyber attack. B. The costs of paying a ransom in response to a ransomware attack. C. The costs of notifying affected parties after a breach. D. Coverage for lost income due to a business disruption caused by a cyber attack. Answer: B. The costs of paying a ransom in response to a ransomware attack. Explanation: cyber extortion coverage typically includes the costs associated with paying a ransom in response to a ransomware attack or similar extortion attempts. It may also cover expenses related to negotiating with the attackers, though it is not always a guaranteed coverage, as the insurer will evaluate the circumstances and the policy terms. Question 27. Which of the following is an example of a privacy liability claim that could be covered under a cyber insurance policy? A. A claim made by a customer whose data was exposed in a security breach. B. A claim from a competitor accusing the company of stealing intellectual property. C. A claim for loss of business income after a system outage. D. A claim related to damage caused by a virus or malware. Answer: A. A claim made by a customer whose data was exposed in a security breach. Explanation: privacy liability coverage typically protects against claims related to the exposure or misuse of personal data. If a customer's sensitive data is compromised in a breach, the customer may file a claim against the company, and privacy liability insurance would cover the costs of defending against and resolving the claim, including any potential damages. Question 20. Which of the following would most likely be excluded under a cyber insurance policies? A cyber terrorism exclusion. A data breach resulting from a hacker targeting a government agency. B. A denial of service attack launched by a foreign nation state. C. A ransomware attack perpetrated by an individual hacker. D. A business disruption caused by malware. Answer: B. A denial of service attack launched by a foreign nation state. Explanation: cyber terrorism exclusions are designed to exclude coverage for incidents that are linked to politically motivated attacks or those perpetrated by terrorist organizations or nation states. A denial of service attack launched by a foreign nation state would typically fall under this exclusion, as it is often considered an act of cyber warfare or terrorism. Question 29. Which of the following is a potential consequence of a company not having adequate cyber insurance coverage? A. A higher likelihood of a cyber attack occurring. B. Potential financial instability due to the costs of recovering from a cyber incident. C. Increased exposure to regulatory scrutiny for data breaches. D. All of the above. Answer: B. Potential financial instability due to the costs of recovering from a cyber incident. Explanation: lacking adequate cyber insurance can leave a company vulnerable to significant financial losses if it experiences a cyber incident. Without insurance, the company would be responsible for covering the cost of legal fees, customer notification, reputation management, and recovery, which could result in financial instability. While cyber insurance does not directly influence the likelihood of an attack or regulatory scrutiny, it helps mitigate the financial consequences of such incidents. Question 30. Which of the following could be considered a third-party claim in a cyber insurance policy? A. A company's employee is caught stealing customer data. B. A competitor hacks into a company's network and steals trade secrets. C. A company's server crashes, leading to loss of business income. D. A customer files a lawsuit after a breach exposes their personal data. Answer: D. A customer files a lawsuit after a breach exposes their personal data. Of explanation: third-party claims in cyber insurance refer to claims made by external parties other than the insured company as a result of a cyber incident. In this scenario, the customer is the external party suing the company for the exposure of their personal data in a breach. The other scenarios involve internal issues or incidents not directly involving an external claim.